Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Monday. First Monday of December. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Jacob. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? It's still a Monday. What is going on here? Well, we will set going as always. Always and often. Hey, Patrick, do you have snow on the ground up there? Let me know about that. Assuming you're still in Minnesota, not traveling. By the way, let's see what's coming out this week. We got factory orders coming out at 9 a.m. And then it's pretty quiet besides the 3 and 6 month auctions. And I'm still paying attention to those very closely in case there's long tail events. Tomorrow we have the global composite PMI, services PMI, ISM services PMI. So that's a minor importance number coming out tomorrow. Wednesday, we got the crude numbers and ADP employment change, imports and exports. But Wednesday is sort of a quiet day. Also, Thursday we have jobless claims, but Friday we've got non-farm payroll Friday. Non-farm payroll Friday. So last employment report before the potential Fed pause. So that's where we sit right there. Good morning, Heinrich. Adjusting stops and changing trading plans. I kid. Well, you can always adjust stops closer to the price action. You just don't move it farther away. And changing trading plans, you edit them ever so often, but not on a rate, not according to your positions. So, all right. Sort of a mega cap down day. Things are pulling off another pretty strong Friday with a rally now pulling back. Gold opening last night at a new all-time highs on the Asian session, and then strong reversal there. But all the mega caps down this morning. So keep an eye on that. Groups, let me do a little refresh. Let me do a refresh right here. Com services down the most, over a 1%. Nothing's positive this morning. Nothing is positive. Good morning, Anissa. Snow mostly gone, just a few patches where sun doesn't reach. Brown grass, brown trees, overcast sky. Yeah, that sounds like the Midwest. Oh, the upper Midwest. So nothing positive going into the open so far. Fed, what this is, I think the market's getting very ahead of itself pricing in rate cuts. Look at this now. We got the first cut priced in March, second cut in June, third cut in July, fourth cut in September, fifth cut in December. So 5 cuts priced in next year, taking it back to 4 to 4.25 potentially. I think the market's gone literally insane. We'd have to be in a very, very deep recession, which we could hit. But then, it'll be interesting to see if they can cut that much. So that's market's still in greed mode. Also, in case the Schiller PE 3110, this is through the charts. The standard PE 25. So this has really bounced back up over the last few weeks. So again, the market's priced in for perfection. Perfection in terms of earnings this week. Really not much today. Tomorrow we got NIO, AutoZone, one of my favorites. AutoZone. What else do we have? Nothing really after the close. Dave & Buster's, Toll Brothers from housing's point of view. Wednesday, Campbell's, what I'm paying attention to. We got GameStop, one of the most important stocks in the market. And that's really chewy for all us dog lovers. Thursday, we got Dollar General. Remember, Dollar Tree reported and did not have that good results. And so it'll be interesting to see what Dollar General does. And Broadcom after close on Thursday, Lululemon. See if the casual athletic gear is still charging forward. DocuSign, Restoration Hardware. So probably the busiest thing is Thursday after the close, going into non-farm payroll Friday, but our earnings are winding down. I mean, we've been winding it down over the last couple weeks. Good morning, Options 22. Oh, back on the road. Wonder where you've been. Thank you for tuning in. Tony, good morning. Bitcoin has been going nuts with all the I'm just waiting for the next rollover play in this thing because of all the tether printing, shall we say. Tether printing. But Bitcoin has been flying. You got the Binance stuff all coming down. They got to prop this stuff up before the next big collapse, but that's just my thoughts. So, inside day from Friday, still reversal back to a very key support level, this 4570. We start breaking below that. Let's take a look to see what we have. Now, taking a look at this. It does qualify, but it's because of this extended sideways area, it's lower probability variety. But what will I be watching? I will be watching a close, at least on a 4-hour basis, below 45.44.75. Coming into this area, coming into the open, 45.63 is my first area of support I'll be watching for a bounce, and I'll be watching 45.50. If we break through 45.50 and get that close below 45.44.75, I'll watch for the bigger short-term pullback. Okay, that's where we sit there to the upside. Let's just get some other key levels because you had that little mini double that played out earlier that was triggered on the European Open. Then we broke through first level support. So really, at this point, resistance now to me is about 45.82, and then I'll go into the harmonics. Then I will look at the harmonics from the retracement point of view from the highs of Friday back to whatever the market low in the morning is. So, hold on one second. What's this? There we go. Sorry, got a little, come on. All right. What's going on with the mouse? There we go. I'll really be watching this 50% of wherever that is. So if we go lower in the open, I will ratchet these down and really be watching the 50%. And if we go down to this 43, down all the way down to around this area, then that 50% is just coming in higher than that 45.82. So keep an eye on that. But since we don't know what the low is going into the open, that's where we are. Also, the reverse harmonics, if you're looking for another key area to watch for, is right at this 45.68 on a short-term closing basis. We start closing below there, you could definitely see the return to last Thursday's low area. All right. Nasdaq, by the way, also Friday. Let me zoom in here. We did not close. So again, double top has been confirmed but not triggered twice. Might be triggered today. But you see there's been the buying pressure. So going into the open, I am really focused on 15,855 to about 14,875 for potential reversals. If it does break lower, even though this is not officially triggered, you can watch this first target area for the next level support. There's sort of a cluster here around 15,833 to 15,821. Then below that, 15,762, 15,704. Resistance now, about 940, and then right around a 16 to 1631. Now, also keep in mind, I didn't go on it through the S&P, but we're at weekly cycle tops. And weekly cycles do trump daily cycles. So daily could get a little bump still down. We might get a little bounce, and then we could get a more substantial rollover play. I really think these markets are ahead of ourselves, but is there a major topping pattern? We have a potential big weekly double top, but that's a lot lower, or I should say potential double top. In the short term, the only thing we have to do is watch for the reaction against the rotation zone. The Dow, again, coming up. Again, coming up, really plowing through, coming up to the all-time high areas. Back with that push on Friday, coming up to that 36,272 harmonic reversal. The key support, this is very overextended from the rotation zone on the daily basis. So we don't even have a little mini double. Right now, I am watching 36,000 to about 36,040, and then 35,940 as my first levels of support resistance. There aren't a lot of great targets up here, but the first level of resistance is 36,251. Hello, Richard. Good morning, George. Yeah, I have it bumping up against 50% on a higher time frame for Bitcoin also as well. The Russell, finally the big breakout on Friday, which was a sort of a shocker coming up here, but reversing off the 62.5 so far this morning. The money on the 1st of December really flowing into the Russell. Russell, I'm watching support coming back at 1851. I'm watching for a major topping area in here, with both daily cycles getting closer to the top and weekly cycles at the top. All right, so that's where that sits right now. It would need a close above 1875.7 before I continue bullish. The VIX, a little bounce up this morning. Still, my key level for a bigger pullback is 1431. Going to be watching this just into the open to see how it reacts, to see if we still get some selling pressure or if this reverses back down and tries to take out today's lows and then fills a partial gap. The DAX into, again, a major topping area here. Right now, let me just remove some of the old levels here since we've gone on a tear and we hit that 75% retracement or 87.5% retracement. So 16,525 is the next minor top, but I'm starting to watch for a pullback pattern in the DAX setting up. We just don't have anything yet. This is where I will use that prior 16,340 area as a retracement target. Notes. Again, financial conditions have been getting a lot looser, so it's going to be interesting. That's also helped fuel this rally. Little tightening today, but not much. Key support coming in at 109.24. Not expecting us to hit that today unless something weird happens with the auctions. Remember, we have the bond and we have the bill auctions today, 3 and 6 month. The yield still waiting. We've come down to that 4.2 yield, watching for a bottom to come in with weekly cycles at the bottom and daily cycles at the bottom. If we do push down again, 4.168 is very key. Other than that, any rally, is there a reversals pattern yet? Not really. Watching for more of a substantial bottoming formation and to see if we react off 4.3 to 4.33. 10-2s, sort of a pause in the steepening, not much to talk about there. Dollar index, really keeping an eye now if we break through Friday's high. Remember, we got the percent beat buy last week. Now watching to see if we take that out or take out Friday's high, which would be a single bar pausing reversal. A single bar pausing reversal, and my next target is 103.66 area. 103.66. So that's what I am keeping an eye on here. And then we could be getting a more substantial bottoming formation in the dollar. Crude. Remember, we confirmed but never triggered the double. It's now invalid. However, watching now, is there a bigger potential pattern? Yes, there is a bigger potential pattern right here on a weekly basis. So it would need a weekly close above 79.60. Other than that, nothing yet for the bullish side. We still have the overall bearish head and shoulders in play. So if we do break through the lows that were set in the middle of November, 69.23 to $70 is key. We're getting to the spiders. Gold, massive run up last night in gold in the Asian session, and then strong reversal. This might be a short-term blow off top. Hold on one second. This might be a short-term blow off top to shake out some of the weak hands and some of the profit taking up here, and then making another. Remember, long-term, we've triggered some bullish patterns. What am I watching to see here? The two key levels are about 2056 and then below that 2024. We're overbought. We're coming off of, again, a double weekly push high, so we could be getting a rollover play in the short term. Long term, still bullish. I know we want to get to the spiders. So yen, nothing much. Watching for a bottoming formation this week to potentially set up in the yen. Euro, there's not much going on in the euro just yet. Watching to see how it reacts to the flat 200 area. See if we get any bounce here. But other than that, if we do break below this area, watching for a reconnection with about 107.80. Pound, nothing. Lots of resistance up here. You see here we got a sloppy little, it doesn't have a lot of rotation on the daily. I'm keeping an eye on this as one side and a middle, I mean the right side there to see if we close below 126 to trigger a bigger pullback pattern back to the 200 on the pound. These spiders, after stopping at the next harmonic level on Friday, gap down. So 455.73. I will be looking roughly at Friday's open. So above there, and here's what I'll be pretty much doing the same thing with the retracements down if we set up a low bar. So I go to Friday's high and then pull down your retracements roughly to where we if we get some support in there, and put on the retracements. We don't have anything yet, and then start using some of these levels as the key levels, especially the 50 to 62% if we do rally. That would be what I'd watch before the potential gap fill. Then I'd be looking at 458.50, then the gap fill. The gap fill would take us all the way to 459.10 area. Support on continued weakness, 453, roughly 453.35. And then major support for this week, well, at least the beginning of this week, coming in about 450.35. So those are the key areas. More of a disaster mode sell-off, 448. Hey, Christoph. Hey, Mike. How you doing? How low do we go on the spiders? Well, again, I'd be watching anything back in the rotation zone and then a first bounce. Remember, then the secondary reaction is going to tell us a lot. We're getting the primary reaction potentially now. The secondary reaction is what I'm going to be watching for. Good morning, Legion Reaver. The Qs, remember, we've confirmed, same as the futures, we've confirmed the double but not triggered it, but you can still use these levels. So we're trading 386.29. First key area I'm watching is about 385.80, then 385.54, then 384.30, then 383.03. There we go. I'll do the same thing with retracements right now. But your key area would be 390, and before that, the next very strong area is about 388.40. So that's, hey, you're welcome, Chris. All right, there we go with the spiders, the Teslas. No follow through off the cyber reveal. If we break below 232, watching for a potential quick trip to about 223.80, 224 area. That's roughly about it. Resistance still coming in roughly 240. NVIDIA, not much of a bounce on Friday. Still watching for a potential reaction right around this 460 area, and then if that's broken, the 448.89. Any resistance is now 477. XLF at 35. Let's take a look at XLF. If you're trying, I would need to know your time frame. Okay, see, that's where it matters. Is 35 too far away? You're in no man's land right now. Really, your key thing to watch for with the XLF, you have now, this is your key support zone right in here with the rising rotation zone. You start breaking below that, you could easily retest below 35 because your next support zone is right around 34.85 to 35. So depending on your time frame, that's what's key. That is what's key. Also, if you remember, if you flip the harmonics, I'm definitely glad you're raising a stop on this. You see here, you've hit you're right in that area, the 87.5. So, depends how aggressive you are. But really, if from my perspective, in the short term, if we start breaking below this like 35, 45 level on a closing basis, I'd be watching for a bigger pullback if this does not hold. If this does hold, then I would just keep rushing up my stop as it gets above the 87.5. That's the two areas I'd be watching for. Okay? You are very overbought on the daily, and you're at cycle tops on the weeklies. Also keep in mind, with cycle tops on the weeklies, if we start a bigger pullback, this is going to somewhat mimic what the market's been doing. Sorry, I didn't. So I'd be watching for this primary and then the secondary reaction. And then if it sets up more of a topping pattern, that would be my key stop level. Right now, you're just getting the first reaction after a massive run-up. You're welcome, Richard. So that would be either I would keep a tighter stop, or if you're in it for a longer weekly play, a little looser stop. But 35 is in no man's land to me. What else do we have going into the open? Let me just check on this again. Oof. That's some selling pressure. All right, we're sitting right at that area of support from Friday. This is the pre-market support and the post-opening support from Friday. So this is a very key area to watch for into the open. Below that, if we do break down below that, we could potentially, with a strong negative tick, we could retest the Thursday low area. And then it's important to keep an eye on this little mini lower probability double. That's where we stand for now. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'd really be paying attention to the tick, because if this breaks down but we don't start getting those negative tick pushes below minus 800 consistently, it could just be a reversal pattern at some of these key support levels. With that, I will talk to everyone later. Bye for now.